water, in the air, and in all forms of life. That is why the earth herself, burdened and laid waste and ravaged, is among the most abandoned and maltreated of our poor. She groans in travail. Have we forgotten that we ourselves are dust of the earth? Our very bodies are made up of fair elements. We breathe her air and we receive life and refreshment from her waters. I enjoin each one of you to heed Pope Francis' message about our environment. For 2020, I am embarking on a project of recycling wastewater for productive use to honor Pope Francis and Saint Pope Paul VI ordained me in 1970, together with more than 200 candidates from all over the world. It was probably the biggest ordination held in the 20th century. Saint Pope Paul VI had likewise expressed his concern for our environment. I urge you who are attending my anniversary Mass virtually to direct our efforts in saving our world. Aside from being frugal with our daily use of water, we must find ways to recycle our wastewater for other uses, like watering our plants, cleaning and flushing our toilets, and even to the extent of purifying water safe for human consumption. I beseech you all, especially those empowered with high authority, and you who have huge resources, to embark and invest in water management and conservation before it is too late. Now, please indulge me if I share with you about my family and how I became a Salesian priest. I came into this world on March 6, 1943. We were 6 boys, and I was a third born to my parents, Gregoria and Gregorio. Imangoria Tatangorio. Paris, ano. I come from a poor, humble beginnings, but we never went hungry or lack shelter or clothing. Ima and Tatang were ingenious in raising and feeding 6 boys. Felix, the eldest among us, was someone who we all liked to beat in whatever games we played. He has passed away a few years ago, and his wife Marcia followed a few months later. May they rest in peace. Jess, who now stands as the eldest with his wife Minyang, continues to promote among our relatives the value and practice of sharing as taught and practiced by example by my mother, Ima. Right after me is Johnny, the 4th son, and his wife, Elle. A younger brother, Joe, has passed away too. He is survived by his wife, Vicky, and son, Jeff. Our youngest is Butch and wife, Rose. I thank all of you, my brothers and nephews and nieces and grandchildren, for supporting me and being with me in my mission in Tuloy for the least, the last of the children. In our hometown, it was customary, if there was a boy in the family, that boy should be sent to the seminary. Of the 6 boys, who will go to the seminary? My Ima chose me because I was always late and absent in the evening 6 o'clock Angelus prayer and rosary. I was too engrossed in a lot of street games such as trumpo, fighting spiders, marble board jack, and many other street games. By sending me to the seminary and choosing me, she hoped I will be transformed. I did not finish even 1 year in the local seminary. I was expelled and sent home for asking a very simple question. One morning, I went to the prefect of studies, Father Principal, and I asked, Father, why am I number 3 in class now? In the first 8 months, I was number 1. How can that be? He looked at me with a stern face and with a curt sentence shouted, you cannot be a priest because you asked too many questions. When my tatang saw me at home, he was so angry. No, not me, but the priest who sent me home and said, those priests do not know how to love children because they do not have a family. So he asked me, so what do you want to be? What do you like to become? I said, Tatang, I want to become a very rich engineer. Oh, engineer. A week later, he brought me to Don Bosco Technical Institute in Mandaluyong, where I met the rector of the school, Father Pierangelo Quaranta. When he saw me, my father told the story, and he said, put his hand on my shoulder with a smile and kind words. He said, do not worry. Everything is going to be all right. The following year, I was sent to Don Bosco Technical Institute in Bacolod, Victorias Negros Occidental for high school. There I found myself among Salesian brothers and priests who were always with us, whether in the chapel praying, in the classroom studying, in the playground playing, or outings enjoying. Their cheerful disposition and dedication deeply inspired me. And I said, I want to be one of them. That began my journey to be a Salesian priest. So I gave up my dream to become a very rich engineer. After high school, I went for 1 year novitiate for spiritual formation, followed by college studies in Hong Kong. In 1963 until 66, I taught in Don Bosco Academy in Pampanga, after which I went for my theological studies and formation from 1966 until 1970 in our Pontifical University in Rome. That's why at the end of 4 years, May 17, 1970, I was ordained by Saint Pope Paul VI at St. Peter's Basilica Square. I'd like to honor two very special Salesians who have inspired me to become what I am today. The late Father Adolfo Faroni, who was my mentor and tormentor, who never left encouraging me until his last few days. Often in the most trying moments of Tuloy, he would drop by and whisper, boy, do not give up. Be strong, have faith. You are doing Don Bosco's work. Then there was Father Godfrey Rosen, who taught me how to beg He was tenacious in sending out mail every day to look for funds. To Father Alton Fernandez, Father Sal Putsu, Father Pablo Loquiao, Ernie Cruz, and others, thank you for your affirmations every time we meet. Father Armand, when you founded the office, did you know that many of them were members of our volunteer group? And Father Armand to this day manages to send graces for the children from his connection and friends. Special mention goes to Father Gustillo, my student and superior, who gave me the benefit of the doubt and later brought friends and relatives to support Tuloy. To our present superior, Father Jerry Martin, who, by the way, had a short stint in Tuloy as a brother, and to our Vice Provincial, Father Dito Gueco, thank you for sending 3 Salesians in the mission for the Tuloy children. Father Dan Torres, Father Vester Casaclang, Father Danny Dadule, who got a new assignment and not yet been replaced. Father Eli Cruz, who was the only superior who visited most often Tuloy. Even now, he comes and visits the children. There are 3 priests who I reserved for the last, Father Beng Molabin, John Andreu, and Father Arnold Sanico. They were assigned in Tuloy for some years. They were so devoted to the children. Father Beng to this day helps our graduates who are in between jobs. Father Andreu, who has been assigned to Tuloy for 3 times for his love for the kids. Father Arnold Sanico, for having left a legacy of teaching our acolytes how to serve Mass in a special way. I admire and thank them for their presence and devotion. They were always for the kids. There are still among others of my conference who I wish to thank, who had a relatively short stint in Tuloy. In no particular order, Father Ding, Father Joel Kamaya, J. David, Javi, Father Ian, Father Dran,